Hey everybody, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about why you should buy Lightroom rather than Affinity Photo, and this is specifically in reference to if you're doing something called batch editing. Now, to those of you who don't know, let me pull up. Batch editing is when you have a file or you did a shoot and you have a bunch of photos, and basically a lot of them are similar, and you're able to, just drop a preset on them or just make some tweaks similar, and basically one could apply to a lot of them. Or also sometimes it's just, you just have a lot of photos, even though if they are slightly different shading, different coloring, anything like that. But what I want to talk to you about is if you're doing a lot of batch editing, especially if you do portraits, weddings, that type of thing, you definitely want Lightroom over Affinity, and this is for one reason. So here we have unedited photos of a shoot I did a couple months ago. So I'm just going to grab the JPEGs because opening up all of the raw files would take much too long. But so if we open them up in Affinity Photo, this is what you get. Here's the photo, and this is your layout of photos all along the top. And that means for you to cycle through this, you have to click on every single photo individually and go through. You can do different adjustments really simply. As I've said in the other one, that Affinity Photo is a fantastic app. It's definitely really strong, able to do amazing things. But this is one of my biggest problems with it, that it's not able to handle batch photos. Because let's say I edit this photo, completely, then basically I have to go and then save it, download the file, whatever. There is a slight cloud server that you can save it to, but it's not something super well thought out. That was way overexposed. There's also no simple tool for, rating all of the system and everything, like Lightroom has. So you just have to go through, and it doesn't give you a great layout. You just have to recognize numbers. So unless you individually name all of your different photos, you're just not going to know what it is. Now, so I'm going to close out Affinity. Compared to this, I just want you to think, and then also if you're closing everything, it has to ask you to save and save, even if you've exported, and it just gets annoying. So closing out Affinity, now if we open up Lightroom, there's a big difference. Now I imported pretty much some of these similar photos into its own album, and this is what you get. Instead, here you get all of these photos that you can just very easily cycle through with. And as you can see down here, you've just got simple snapshots of what they are, and you're able to go through. Now, reminder that Affinity is able to do naturally a lot more than Lightroom can, because you're able to modify the pixels a lot more. It's much closer related to Photoshop, but also has the lighting element of Affinity. But here, you can just very simply take all of these photos, and let's say, we go here, we like this one, we can give this a 5-star rating, by pressing number 5. This one, eyes are a little closed, took the wrong time, so I just give it a 3. Next one, rate it, that's a 3. Next one, 2, 4, and this so easily to go through. And then with all of these, the presets are much easier to use on Affinity if you have some saved ones, so you can go into the different ones that you have, throw these on much easier, and then bam, look at that, you've already got a photo down. So my biggest thing is now just put yourself in the mindset that you're working a job. You're going to be having hundreds of photos come through if you're doing portraiture or if you're doing a wedding. And if you don't have Lightroom, you're going to have a hard time going through all the photos, because otherwise what you're going to be doing is going through every single photo. You're going to open one up and be asking, do I like this one? I don't know. And as you can see from these photos, you don't get the great resolution just on the preview. That's just naturally how it is. You have to fully open up the image before you can even see what it completely looks like. So if you want something that allows you to quickly go through all of your photos, and it will allow you to maximize your workflow and time, save you so much time, and like this one, I don't like this one, so I can flag that. And then what you're able to do, let's say, hide this, hide that. you can then filter out all of the ones that you don't like and just the ones that you like. But basically, what it comes down to is Lightroom allows you to work much more efficiently, much faster with lots of photos. Now, let's say you're going for a more artistic style, still on a budget, and you just are handling a few photos that you're going to be taking of an object or something, or even of a person, but you're not going to be having hundreds and hundreds of photos. Well, in that case, Affinity Photo is all that you need. But until then, I would highly recommend, if you're going to be doing portraiture or weddings, graduation photos, anything that requires large volume, you're going to want Lightroom, because that just allows you to cycle through many more photos faster. All right, kept that to 5 minutes. Thanks for listening. Hey, if you have any questions, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.